all you need to know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business.
Good morning. You're listening to the daily morning update from Bloomberg Quint, and I'm Alex Matthew. Here's everything that you need to know at the start of the 19th of February. Reliance Industries talks to sell a minority stake in its oil-to-chemical division to Saudi Aramco have been gathering pace in recent weeks, according to people familiar with the matter. That's a Bloomberg story. Aramco officials and bankers on the deal have been working at Reliance's offices in Mumbai for due diligence this month. Both parties are trying to overcome differences over the deal's structure, which had stalled the process last year. Reliance is keen to sign a binding agreement before the next annual shareholders meeting, which is due to take place before the end of September, according to one of the sources. There's a couple of changes in the constitution of the benchmark Nifty 50 index. Yes Bank, which has seen its stock tumble by over 80% in the last year, has given way, and its place is taken by Shree Cement, which has gained 55.7% over the last 12 months. So there will now be 3 cement companies in the index. In the telecom space, Vodafone Idea's chairman Kumar Mangalam Birla met Telecom Secretary Anshu Jain yesterday amid talks that the government may encash telecom firms' bank guarantees following the default in payment of AGR dues. The meeting lasted over an hour, but the details are not known. Birla refused to respond to queries after the meeting. Remember, Vodafone Idea paid 2,500 crore rupees to the Department of Telecommunications on Monday and promised to pay another 1,000 crore rupees before the end of the week. Lenders to Jet Airways have decided to extend the deadline for submission of bids to the 10th of March as a new entity has shown interest in the grounded airline. That's a PTI report that quoted unnamed sources. The government will soon announce measures to deal with the impact of the coronavirus outbreak on India's industry and exports. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said this yesterday. These measures will be announced in consultation with the Prime Minister's office, and she said this to reporters in New Delhi after meeting industry representatives to assess the situation in the aftermath of the virus outbreak globally. In international news, in a rare public rebuke of his own administration's hardliners on China, US President Donald Trump has intervened to stop plans to block sales of GE-made jet engines to China, among other proposed restrictions on American exports. Trump's justification was that national security is being used too often by his own officials to limit American companies' ability to transact with China. In updates on the coronavirus, the death toll in China has hit 2,000 and Russia has barred Chinese citizens from entry. But a top official at the World Health Organization says that the country's aggressive quarantine tactics delayed the spread of the illness from the outbreak's center. Officials in China's Hubei province locked down travel to and from the province and later sharply restricted people's ability to leave their homes. The official said that those measures on movement restriction have delayed the dissemination of the outbreak by 2 to 3 days within China and by 2 to 3 weeks outside of China. Hong Kong is headed for its first back-to-back annual recessions on record as the coronavirus shutdown cripples an economy that has already been battered by months of political unrest. Economists' forecasts since the start of February point to a contraction of more than 1% this year, following a 1.2% decline in 2019. In international markets, US equity markets resumed trade yesterday after a holiday at the start of the week. They ended lower, reacting to Apple's adverse revenue guidance that we told you about yesterday. The early risers in the Asia-Pacific region have started mixed, with 2 of the 3 early risers trading muted. The Nikkei 225 in Japan was trading positive after quite a bit of a downslide. And with that, it's over to Agam Vakil for the trade setup for the day in India. Good morning, Agam. How are we looking today?
Good morning, Alex, and good morning, listeners. Well, for now, let's start with the SGX Nifty futures, and it does seem that the Nifty may very well snap its 3-day losing streak based on the fact that we are seeing advances in the SGX Nifty futures. But to talk about a handful of stocks, let's start off with the big news and the big changes in the Nifty 50, where Shree Cement will replace Yes Bank, and these changes will come into effect from March 27th. Moving on to Reliance Industries, which is in talk to sell a minority stake in its oil to chemicals division to Saudi Aramco, and these stocks have been gathering pace in the recent weeks. This deal will value 20% stake in the oil to chemicals unit at $15 billion, and the Aramco representatives are conducting due diligence this month. Shifting focus to Balkrishna Industries, where HDFC Mutual Fund has decreased their stake in Balkrishna Industries to nearly 6% from well over 8% on February 17th. We have a broken note on LIC Housing Finance, which has been under quite a bit of pressure of late. Morgan Stanley remains equal weight but cuts its price target to 400 from 440. They say, considering LIC Housing Finance and IDBI Bank have denied merger plans, there is a lack of compliance with RBI norms, which remains an overhang in the near term for the stock. And finally, we have City Networks, where Brickworks Rating has downgraded the company's long-term bank loan facilities worth a little over 883 crores to a negative. And the downgrade in the rating is on account of delays in debt servicing. Now, these are just some of the stocks that you can watch out for as we move into trade today. But don't forget to go through our morning edition of All You Need to Know only on BloombergQuint.com.
Thanks, Agam.
And as always, thank you all for listening in. Don't forget to check out the website BloombergQuint.com over the course of the day for all the updates in the world of business, politics, and of course, markets. Thanks so much for listening. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great day.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you can listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Pesa Vesa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma. Or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.